Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to mix UK drill rap vocals from start to finish. Alright, so the first thing, I'm going to assume that you kind of already have an understanding of how to use a bit of FL Studio, at least the layout and whatnot. Okay, so if you guys are new to mixing and mastering, complete beginners, you can check out the card above where I explain what mixing and mastering is, and I explain some other things as well. I have a playlist, so if you're a beginner you can go and check that out. Okay, so without further ado, we're here in FL Studio 20. I'm going to show you or play the demo track I'm going to be mixing here from start to finish. Also note, I'm going to be using just stock plugins and free plugins, okay? All the plugins I use, if there are external plugins, but they will be free, links in the description. Alright, let's get started. This is the track, the demo mix.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wicks don't make no noise. Fuck, Flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gon' spill, I ain't talking soy. Man, splash for the kill, man, splash with joy. Sauce gon' spill, I ain't talking soy. Man, splash for the kill, man, splash with joy. Trap and jog, man, do that often. See my likers ringing off constant. You can catch man shopping in Offspring, Cochin, CCTV's watching.
Okay, so that's all we're gonna play here for now. If you're wondering if you want to get access to actually mix these individual vocals as well, you can do so. Link in the description, and you can go and get it. Okay, cool. So we're gonna open up the folder where the vocal multi-track is at. So if you guys want multi-tracks, vocals to practice mixing and mastering, check out my website vocalmultitrack.com, where you can get access to lots of vocals for you, so that you can practice mixing and mastering. Okay, we're gonna open up the files. We can see the BPM is 145 beats per minute here. We're gonna just drag all of this in, drag all the files that are here, and just drag it into FL Studio 20. Okay, so you want to do the same thing. Okay, we're gonna set the tempo as well. So the first thing we're gonna need to do is to prepare the project for mixing. Okay, a lot of mixing is just organizational steps, so we're actually preparing the project so that when we actually do the mixing, everything's easier. It makes our lives easy. So we're gonna go to it. It says 140 tempo. Type in value 145. Done. Okay, now we can just play it with the tempo. So the tempo bit is up here. We can play it with the metronome and just press play. Skip it.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wicks don't make no noise. Flash couldn't use.
We know that's the tempo. Okay, so if you receive vocals, because this is a mixing video, so let's say you've already recorded your vocals. Okay, I'll be doing a video. If you guys want to see a video on how to record vocals and actually go through this process again via the recording route, let me know in the comments below and I'll make that video. But this is mainly just for mixing. Say for example you're a mix engineer, or you receive a set of vocals from people, and then or just your own vocals, and you want to mix it. This video is for you. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do after let's say we have imported the track. Okay, we've imported the track. We want to now organize everything. Okay, so the first thing we're going to organize is the mixer, because that's where the mixing actually occurs. We're going to go back to the playlist. This is a playlist, just this bit here where all the tracks are, and we're going to add some vocal effects, beat manipulation, and all the other stuff there. We're going to add it there. Okay, so first thing, let's actually do this, because I like having the beat at the top. So I'm going to highlight all of them by pressing Control and using the left click on my mouse, and then just drag all of them down like this. Press Control D to deselect. I'm going to bring the beat to the top, and I'm going to bring the lead vocals second, and the vocal dubs third, and the ad-libs last. It just kind of goes in order from which is the most dominant, in a sense: the beats, the vocals, the background vocals, and the background vocals, if that makes sense. I also like to color things just to make things look neat, in a sense. I'm going to color the beat green. This lead vocals, I'm going to color that blue, and vocal dubs, let's color that blue as well. Let's just color these other ones blue. Actually, ad-libs, yeah, let's color all of them blue. Why not? Okay, just so we can get some, just so it can look neat to our eyes. Okay, then what we're going to do now is go to the mixer, right? What we could do, because these tracks here already have kind of the names to it already, we can just double click the names, or double click each track and press track, so it will automatically route that track there into the mixer. Okay, so we're going to just do that to make things simple, and then it routes it here. Okay, the reason why it didn't route to number one, because if you go to the view channel rack and go to where it says unsorted, this sampler is automatically routed into channel 1. So what it doesn't like to do is have a conflicted nature where it routes the same thing into the same one. So what we can do is just reset that, and then we can just hold Alt left and then bring the beat to the start, which I like to do. We're going to do the same thing with the lead vocals. Okay, lead vocal, we're going to press track. Vocals dubs, we're going to press track. Ad-libs, we're going to press track. Okay, now if you press play, all of these tracks are automatically routed into the mixer.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wicks don't make no noise. Flash couldn't use his voice.
Great. Okay, next thing you need to do, if you check out the card above, you see that there's something called a vocal bus, or something I like to call the vocal bus. The vocal bus is basically like it's the group where it houses all these individual channel tracks, okay? So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna create this. Watch after you continue watching, and if you watch a lot of my videos, you see there's something called vocal bus, okay? So we're gonna create the vocal bus and I'll explain each of these individual takes because some people may not know what the vocal dubs are, what ad-libs are, and whatnot. So I'm gonna hold down Shift, no, not Shift, Control, then and Shift. Oh no, Control and Shift. Oops, my gosh, Control Shift. Whilst holding down Control and Shift, select each of these tracks. Press Alt right at the same time, so it shifts everything to the right. But this empty channel here, we're gonna right click, rename color and icon. So we're gonna call that the Vox bus, okay? The Vox bus. We're gonna right click as well, change color. We're just gonna select this brown or red color, okay? Now that's created. So we're gonna, our main purpose for creating this is that way we can at least add all of these channels into this one main bus or this one main group. Then we can actually, when we add effects, we can actually affect all the individual vocals, okay? So we're gonna do the same thing, Control Shift each of these individual tracks, and then we're going to right click, root to this track only, okay? So now if we were to mute this Vox bus, the whole group, all those vocals will be muted as well, okay? Cool. That's the main thing we're kind of going to do now, okay? So you may be wondering, why is it called lead Vox? Why is it called Vox dubs? Why is it called ad-libs? I think ad-libs is just, you should know what ad-libs are, so I'm not going to care to explain that. If you want to know more about ad-libs, you can check out the card above where I talk about ad-libs and whatnot and the presets, okay? So we have the beat, we have the lead vocals. The lead vocal is the main vocal take. Okay? That's the main one that you're going to be hearing throughout. The vocal dubs or the vocal stabs, in other words, is supposed to be vocals to give more emphasis to the, it's like a supporting, like you have the main actor and you have the supporting actor or actress, right? So the vocal dubs are just basically a second layer. Sometimes more time is supposed to be to kind of give it more oomph and more emphasis, all right? So just basically another take, and more time, most of the time, artists just record another layer or another take of the vocal or the lead vocal, and it gives more emphasis, okay? That's essentially what it is. It's a double take. And then the ad-libs, okay? So this one's kind of simple because it's just lead vocals, vocal dubs, and ad-libs, making our life simple and easy, right? Okay, so let's get started. Oops. Okay, let's get started, okay? So now we have everything kind of rooted in already. I like to keep things simple like this. There's also other ways that you can actually go about rooting everything, but this is the most simplest way to actually go about it, okay? And I highly recommend you color things like this as well. To make things simple as well, I'm just going to kind of just rename these beats, lead Vox and Vox dubs. I don't want this Vox M2 thing. I don't want it to be appearing there, just so that it's just easy, okay? So essentially, this is what you always want to be doing. You know, it keeps things simple for you and makes your life easier, okay? So now what we're going to do is going to play the tracks, okay? Let's play the tracks.
I come here and back your boy. Come here. Whips don't make no noise. Run Splash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy.
Okay, so one thing you want to pay attention to when mixing is the metering and see how loud things are. Because especially when in the digital realm, if things are too loud, it start clipping, and if things are too quiet, you won't be able to hear them. So essentially, we're going to be paying attention mainly to the meters and making sure that things are not clipping, especially if they're vocals, okay? So you can see here, these ones are kind of loud. It kind of goes up here. We don't want it to go there. We want it to be kind of lower. And where the vocals itself, they're recorded kind of nicely. If you solo each one, let's just solo the lead vocal.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But D Splash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gun spill.
You can see that it's actually recorded at a nice level. What we're going to do something called clip gaining or gain staging, if you want to call it that. Essentially, what we're going to do is just reduce the volume of that vocal take there. So we're going to reduce it.
I come here and
just by double clicking the actual vocal itself, and where it says volume, we're going to reduce that.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't.
So it's averaging around -15 dB. I like it at that level there. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be precise, but just reduce it a bit. You don't want it always to be coming in too hot, okay? Because eventually we're going to be adding effects, we're going to be adding equalization, compression and whatnot, and sometimes some of these effects have some, the more you add, the more louder you make in the track itself. So we're just going to reduce it by a tad bit.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make.
We're going to do the same thing to the other ones, okay? Let me just copy the exact same value for all of them. I think that would be the best thing to do for now, okay? So you can do the same thing. So I'm going to play.
I come here and I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. Runner. Splash could have used.
I'm gonna reduce the ad-libs a bit more because ad-libs are louder than other ones. So just reduce the basically clip the in.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But Splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gonna spill, I ain't talk.
Okay, then let's play it with the beat as well.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise.
We're gonna reduce the beat as well. So double click the beat. And where it says volume, just reduce that until it sounds balanced.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But Splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gonna spill, I ain't talking soy. Man, splash for the kill, man, splash with joy. Sauce gonna spill, I ain't talking soy. Man, splash for the kill, man, splash with joy. Trap and jog, man, do that often.
That sounds fine, okay? So one of the first things we're gonna do is we're gonna get straight into things and add these effects. Mixing actually doesn't take a long time. Since everything is we don't have a lot of vocals to play with here, we don't have a lot of things to do. I want to know the mixing thing part of it is going to be kind of simple. Then we're going to go to the playlist and we're going to add all these beat manipulation and vocal starters and effects that make up UK Drill. Okay, so first thing we're going to add is we're going to add some EQ and compression. Okay, vocal mixing is basically and essentially, if I can boil it down to two simple concepts or two simple tools to use when mixing, is equalization and compression. I've been saying this for the longest of times, okay, but that's basically what it is, EQ and compression. So we're going to go to lead vocal here. Let's solo it for now, and we're gonna press where's this slot 1. So we're gonna enter select an parametric EQ2. Yeah, we're gonna use an EQ to begin with. So let's play the vocal.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But Splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy.
So first thing we want to do when adding like just using effects, you know, is identify problems. Okay, after you've identified the problem, you want to fix the problem. So to be even adding effects and whatnot, or even tools like. Is there a problem with the vocals to begin with? If there is a problem, then you go ahead and add the tool and you fix it. But if there isn't a problem, then you might not want to waste your time doing what you want to do, okay? So I'm listening to this vocal and I feel like
I come here and back your boy.
I don't think EQ is needed as the first one. I don't see any problems where it's EQ. The EQ is necessary at this stage. So that's why I'm not going to add the EQ to begin with first. And then rather I'm going to replace it and add a filter compressor, okay? So let's play. I want to kind of get more of a compressed sound.
I come here and back your boy.
So this compressor, yeah, it will allow us to get like a more of an even sound. So once you hear it, check out the card above. You can watch a video on compression as well. But once you hear it, you see that it's evening out the sound. Okay, I really recommend that you watch the video on compression and so that you actually have an understanding. I think that will help you out a lot. So we're gonna set the threshold to about -25, -30.
I come here and back your boy.
Let's do that.
I come here and back your boy.
And then we're going to play the attack and release and the ratio, okay? The attack is how fast it takes the compressor to engage, and the release is how fast or slow you want the compressor to disengage in a sense. And the ratio, check out the card above. I teach you all about compression there. I'll go much more in detail. But in this video is more of a crash course, so I'm kind of teaching you a lot of things and just explaining things. And this is generally what you kind of want to do as well. So for like UK Drill vocals, so what I found is that whenever I've mixed with stock plugins like this, I'd be using a lot of the same parameters, knobs, and using the same, going about the same way I actually using the compressor with other vocals as well. So I'm gonna set the threshold to -25, anywhere between like halfway through. Attack and release really depends on the vocal itself and the rap style itself. But I'm gonna go to a ratio about 7.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't.
And you see, as I let's have the attack kind of. Increase it a bit, so because if the attack is too low like this,
I come here and back your boy.
It sounds a bit too almost distorted and suffocated too much. You don't want a fast attack. You don't want the compressor to be attacking straight away. So you kind of want it to be not 0. I would not recommend 0. I would say about 27. Anything above 15 milliseconds will be maybe suffice it.
I come here and back your
release. Let's play with the release.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But Splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz.
I think that's fine there. You kind of just want to play with it. I think once you understand attack and release, ratio and threshold, these components 1, 2, 3, 4, then you're on your way to just even understanding compression as a whole. Okay. Of course, this one is not really much of a visualizer or visual compressor. I think having a visual compressor will help a lot, like the filter limiter, which we'll be using very soon. Okay, so what we're going to do here, to make long story short, we're going to set the threshold like this.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But Splash could have used his voice. I'm getting.
So without it.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But Splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy.
With it now.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise.
So it's made it sound a bit more bodified, if that makes sense. There's more body in the actual vocal take. Okay, we're gonna kind of copy this over the same EQ, the same compressor to the vocal dubs. We're not gonna try and like sometimes there's no need to be trying in a lot of things, but of course I think if you're a beginner, try a lot of things, of course. Right, so because the vocals already sound kind of good like this, I'm just gonna add something called the Ozone Imager 2. This is a free plugin, link in the description. Okay, so after this compressor, slot 2, I'm gonna go to Ozone Imager 2. And then what this is going to do, it kind of spreads out the vocal in the stereo field. So because if you actually listen to vocals, they're recorded as a mono source, so just one microphone mono. Okay, this Ozone Imager 2 plugin, what it's going to do is going to spread out the vocal, add a bit of delay, like when we add just a little bit of delay, so that it sounds like there's multiple people rapping or singing at the same time, and gives it some width. Okay, so free plugin, link in the description, you can check it out. I'm going to increase the width to 100%, and the stereo vise. So it's going to give it a 17.1 millisecond delay. So listen to this. Listen to it alone, and you see it sounds wider. Without it.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But D Splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy.
Okay, I'm going to increase this a bit because it's actually quite low.
I come here and back your boy.
Something like that.
I come here.
With the lead vocals, I'm also going to go back to the compressor and increase the gain a tad bit.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But D Splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man, splash for the kill, man, splash with joy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man, splash for the kill, man, splash with joy. Trap and drop, man, do that often. See my likers ring.
Okay, so that's that there. So next thing we're going to do is where it says here, stereo separation. We're going to kind of separate that like that so that it sounds a bit more stereo separated.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out with.
So let's hear how it sounds like before without any of these effects and with them.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise.
With it now.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But these Splash could have used his voice.
Cool, so we're going to go to the ad-libs now. Ad-libs, we're going to get that typical ad-lib sound effect. Slot 1, the first thing we're going to actually do, we're not going to add a compressor to begin with. We're going to add this EQ, parametric EQ2, and we're going to press right click here, radio, and just extend this out a bit. So it sounds like this.
Come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. Runner.
Like that. So without it.
Come here. Runner.
With it.
Come here. Runner.
Okay. Next thing we're going to add now, actually, let's kind of extend this a bit.
Come here. Runner.
Like that. Next thing we're going to do now is add compression. So we're going to add the future compressor. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to kind of compress this a bit more. So the threshold, we're going to take it to about -40 or between -30, -40. Attack, we can have that kind of fast because ad-libs, you know, and then we can kind of leave the release here. Just going to bring up the ratio.
Come here. Runner.
That's a bit too much. Let's decrease it.
Come here.
Yeah, let's hear that in conjunction with others.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But D Splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man, splash for the kill, man, splash with joy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man, splash for the kill, man, splash with joy.
Yeah, I like the way the ad-libs sound. Like, the next thing we're going to add is something called Pancake 2. Okay, this is also a free plugin, link in the description. You guys can go check it out. Essentially what it does, it automates the panning from left to right, so it sounds like it's left to right, and you can select the timing that you want it to take place as well. So we're going to select where it says 2 bars, 1.5 bars. So every 1.5 bars is going to be left to right. We're going to leave the mix value to 100%. So listen to the ad-libs.
I come here and back. Come here. Runner. Bow.
You can hear that?
Skid it.
Cool. So that's added there. So lead vocals, vocal stubs, and ad-libs.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But D Splash could have used his voice.
Cool. Let's play with the beat now.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But D Splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man, splash for the kill, man.
Okay, that's essentially what we've done there. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to go to the... I'm not really going to add anything else to these individual tracks just yet. Rather, I'm going to go to the vocal bus and add an EQ there. Okay, so I'm going to go to slot 1. Parametric EQ2. And I'm going to add more. Because we compressed it, it gave it more character on the low and body side. We're going to kind of get much more clarity out of the vocal here by adding this type of EQ. So we're going to kind of roll off more of the low end and just give it a more slope and listen to that.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But D Splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new.
Let's hear without it.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But D Splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new.
Okay, now with it.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But Flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy.
I like that. It sounds simple and nice. Then we're also going to do something called sweeping. So we're going to sweep for some unwanted frequencies. I'm going to see if there's any frequencies that we can take out. So usually you just want to kind of hold down your square wheel to kind of increase the bandwidth. We can just press this button here. Right, and then have to just sweep up.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But Flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun still ain't talking.
I'm just going to reduce it a tad bit. Not too much, just a tad bit. Because if you do it too much, then we start hearing it just starts sounding unnatural. So we're going to kind of do something like this. We're going to do it with one more band.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But Flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new.
You kind of hear some of those effects there and some of the harmonics as well in the whole track. So we're going to just kind of reduce that tad bit. Okay.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But these Flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy.
So without it.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise.
With it.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But these Flash couldn't use his.
Okay, we're gonna have to add like another either a multiband compressor or some other EQ to kind of de-ess the vocals a tad bit, because I'm hearing some frequencies up top not sounding too great, but we're gonna kind of do more of this. I have to extend it out a bit.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But these Flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy.
Cool, so that sounds good so far. Ad-libs, we're gonna go back to the ad-libs. I'm gonna add some delay. You know, you could add delay. This is what is kind of sometimes recommended. You can add like a delay bus, where you call it delay, and then go to the ad-libs, and then route the ad-libs also to this track, and then you add the delay there. We could do that. Let me show you that example here. Add through to delay here, and then after just.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. Flash couldn't use his voice.
Reduce the dry value and the level.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. Flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun still ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Source gun still ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with.
Yeah, we can do it that way, or you could add on the ad-libs itself, add the through to delay there. Okay. But sometimes this can actually, it can not mess things up, but it's not sometimes it may not be considered the cleanest way. But if you get the ad-lib preset pack, this is the way it's done there, which I recommend it because it's just easier. But we're gonna do it this way that I'm kind of already doing it here, adding the delay on a separate channel here. Okay, and we're gonna color this delay. Let's color it yellow like this. Okay, so the delay is routed just straight into the master bus. Okay, so that's the delay that we're gonna have there.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. Flash couldn't use his voice.
Let's increase the level a bit so that we can actually hear more of it and reduce the cutoff. So add like a filter, a EQ filter.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. Flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun still ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Source gun still ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Trap and drug, man, do that often. See my likers ringing off constant. You can catch man shopping in Offspring, Cochin, TC.
Let's increase the compressor for the ad-libs. I mean the gain.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. Flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun still ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Source gun still ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Trap and drug, man, do that often. See my likers ringing off constant. You can catch man shopping in Offspring, Cochin, CCTV's watching.
Okay, so now we added that filter EQ there. We're gonna add another compressor on top. Okay, we're gonna add the filter limiter, you know, and we're gonna go to compression. Play it, and after where the threshold, where the vocal comes in, we're gonna kind of reduce the threshold.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. Flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a.
That's minus 27 dB. We're gonna ratio. We're gonna increase that to about. Let's just play it and then we'll see where we should say it.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. Flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun still ain't.
I like that there. I'm gonna increase the gain now so we can actually hear more of the vocal.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. Flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun still ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Source gun still ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Trap and drug, man, do that often. See my likers ringing off constant. You can catch man shopping in Offspring, Cochin, CCTV's watching. Man, he soon gonna run out of options. Young G's park it, nothing like Crofton. Our father, these no adoptions. If there's problems, man, make man softer.
Cool, that sounds good so far. I'm gonna add some reverb onto the Vox dubs here, just a tad bit. Again, as I said, you can also use Sens, something called Sens, where you can right click, call the reverb, call it reverb here, and then add it there. But I'm just gonna do it this way because kind of going for a stylistic sound here. So I'm going to vocal dubs, add reverb here, and mix this signal in. So let's listen to solo the reverb.
I come here and back your boy, jump out, wits don't
And it does work well because this is not the lead vocal. If this was the lead vocal, then that would be it depends. Okay, so we're gonna reduce the size. Actually, no, reduce the wet value.
I come here and back your boy, jump out, wits don't make no noise, but these splash could have used it.
We're gonna reduce the decay as well.
I come here and
let's increase the size and put a slow cut up.
I come here and back your boy, jump out, wits don't make no noise, but these splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun spill, I ain't talking soy, man.
Without the reverb.
I come here and back your boy.
With it.
I come here and back your boy, jump out, wits.
Just tad bit.
I come here and back your boy, jump out, wits don't make no noise, but these splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun spill, I ain't talking soy, man. Splash for the kill, man. Splash with joy. Source gun spill, I ain't talking.
Let's increase the wet value again.
I come here and back your boy, jump out, wits don't make no.
One more time.
I come here and back your boy, jump out, wits don't make no noise, but these splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun spill, I ain't talking soy, man. Splash for the kill, man. Splash with joy. Source gun spill, I ain't talking soy, man. Splash for the kill, man. Splash with joy. Trap and jug, man, do that often. See my likers ringing off constant. You can catch man shopping in an Offspring cotchin. CCTV's watching. Man, he soon.
Let's play with the beat.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But these splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun spill, I ain't talking soy, man. Splash for the kill, man. Splash with joy. Source gun spill, I ain't talking soy, man. Splash for the kill, man. Splash with joy. Trap and jug.
That's sounding good so far. Next thing we're gonna add is a Fruity multiband compressor. We need to compress his vocals a bit more. Okay, this Fruity multiband compressor. Check out the card above to watch an in-depth tutorial on the Fruity multiband compressor. But essentially, what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of compress each band. So if you look at the equalizer, we see that there's multiple. Essentially, you can kind of split it up into bands: the lower end, mid-range, and the high end. Okay, and then this is basically a low band, mid-range, and high end, essentially. So we're gonna compress each band here. Start off, we're gonna go with presets. I'm going to select, I think it's a warmer. No, soft limiter here. And it gives us a nice sound right off the bat. Then we're going to adjust it here. This may seem like there's a lot going on. Once you understand threshold ratio, attack release, and knee, I think it'll be easier because you're just kind of going about it as if you're compressing. Like, just don't look at all three of them at the same time, but look at each individual one and say, okay, this is what I'm going to be, this is what I'm doing. I'm just compressing this, just basically as if I'm using the Fruity compressor. Okay, anyway, let's get started. So let's see how it sounds like with just the preset that we just added now.
I come here and back your boy, jump out, wits don't make no noise. But these splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy.
Without it.
I come here and back your boy. I come here and back your.
So not much has happened there. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna solo each band. So we're gonna mute each other band here. Let's start with the low end. So let's compress that band there. So we're gonna threshold. Let's do -12. Let's increase the ratio as well. So essentially, I'm going to decrease this threshold until I start seeing this red bit here, which shows the gain reduction or the compression taking place. Let's play with the other ones now, the other bands.
I come here and back your boy, jump out, wits don't make no noise. But these splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a.
Increase the gain or the low end as well, so you can give it more of that energy back into it.
I come here and back your boy, jump out, wits don't make no noise. But these splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun spill, I ain't talking soy.
The mid range needs to be compressed. So we're gonna, where it says mid band here, we're gonna ratio and decrease it until we kind of hear the compression and increase the ratio. And then we'll probably play the attack and release as well.
I come here and back your boy, jump out, wits don't make no noise. But these splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a.
Let's increase the attack.
I come here and back your boy, jump out, wits don't make no noise. But these splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun spill, I ain't talking soy, man. Splash for the kill, man. Splash with joy. Source gun spill, I ain't talking.
And then the high band, we're gonna compress that as well, so kind of almost de-essing it a little bit.
I come here and back your boy, jump out, wits don't make no noise. But these splash could have used his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun spill, I ain't talking soy, man. Splash for the kill, man. Splash with joy. Source gun spill, I ain't talking soy, man. Splash for the kill, man. Splash with joy. Trap and jug, man, do that often. See my likers ringing off constant. You can catch man shopping in an Offspring.
Okay, now it's sounding much more thick and warm. I'm gonna go back to slot 4, add another EQ, parametric EQ2, right? So what we're gonna do now is also just reduce that like we did initially with the first EQ, kind of just take some of those low bands off, and just EQ it like this.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips don't make no noise. But these flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Trap and jog, man, do that often. See my likers ringing off constant. You can catch man shopping in Offspring, Cochin, CCTV's watching. Man, he soon gonna run out of options. Young G's park it, nothing like Crofton. I father these no adoptions. If there's problems, man, make man soften. I need them look like goblins, hobbling, squabbling, talk about offerings. I don't do no text.
Okay, that sounded right. Now I'm gonna go back into the lead vocal and add a compressor and an EQ there, because now I'm kind of going back on reversing kind of the processes there. So I'm just gonna kind of make this a bit more clearer by just attenuating some of these frequencies here, like the mid-range here.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips don't make no noise. But these flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Trap and jog, man, do that often. See my likers ringing off constant. You can catch man shopping in Offspring, Cochin, CCTV's watching. Man, he soon gonna run out of options. Young G's park it, nothing like Crofton. I father these no adoptions. If there's problems, man, make man soften.
Cool, that sounded right. So the beat and the vocal bus, now we're just gonna balance that out, okay? And now I'm gonna add balance it out in the sense that make it sound level nice, which it does already.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips don't make no noise.
I'm gonna add some reverb onto the actual vocal bus here. I'm gonna go to slot 5. Let's see how it sounds like if we added this reverb here on slot on the vocal bus.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips don't make no noise. But these flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man splash for...
I don't like how that sounds like, so we're not gonna add it there. Rather, we're gonna add the reverb onto this separate channel, okay? So call it reverb. It's color the same color as the delay, and then we're gonna vox bus route it into here. Reverb, add its own reverb. That way we can also add some EQ to the reverb. So let's play that. Decrease the drive value, increase the wet value.
I come here.
Yeah.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips don't...
So we're gonna adjust the reverb as to our liking, like, essentially. So we're gonna just increase the size.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips don't make no noise. But these flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new...
And then we're gonna adjust our mix signal from the vocal bus to the reverb itself.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips don't make no noise. But these flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talk.
Increase the decay.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips don't make no noise. But these flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Man, do that often. See my likers ringing off constant. You can catch man shopping in Offspring, Cochin.
Decrease the decay. So what we're hearing now is just the individual reverb itself from the Vox bus. I like that. It's just a little, a slight bit. We're gonna EQ that as well by using this EQ here, and just do that. And just a little, it's just a slight bit. So it's just a tad bit. So let's hear that all in conjunction now. Oh, let's route this Vox bus back into the master.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips don't make no noise. But these flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Sauce gun spill, I ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy.
That sounded good to me. Now we're gonna go to the master bus and just let's add the fruiter limiter. Okay, and we're just gonna limit this and just use the gain knob. Okay, so we're gonna go to compression.
I come here and back.
And just reduce it until we kind of get to a balanced middle ground.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips.
And increase the ratio as well.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips don't make no noise.
Let's use a ratio of 3:1.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips don't make no noise. But these flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gun.
No, we're gonna decrease the threshold because right now we're kind of hearing a bit too much compression. You can see right there.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips don't make no noise. But these flash couldn't use his voice.
That's fine.
I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Sauce gun.
Oh, no, that's not fine. Let's decrease the ratio.
I come here.
So we don't want to compress too much. No.
I come here and back your boy. Jump out, whips don't make no noise. But these flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun still ain't talking.
Fine, now we're gonna increase the gain until it gets loud enough.
I ain't come here and back your boy. Jump out, wits don't make no noise. But these flash couldn't use his voice. I'm getting a buzz of this brand new toy. Source gun still ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Source gun still ain't talking soy. Man splash for the kill, man splash with joy. Trap and drop, man do that often. See my likers ringing off constant. You can catch man shopping in Offspring, Cochin. CCTV's watching. Man, he soon gonna run out of options. Young G's park it, nothing like Crofton. I father these no adoptions. If there's problems, man, make man soften. I need them look like goblins, hobbling, squabbling, talk about offerings. I don't do no.
Okay, so that's essentially the vocal mix itself. Not too long at all. Now what we could do, after we've done that, we can kind of go back into what we need to change and whatnot there. Alright, so that's the vocal mix essentially done. You can see that there wasn't a lot of steps to it, and it's actually very simple to actually do. And once you kind of get that gist of EQ and compression, because you kind of see the main plugins I used, EQ, compression, and reverb, delay, and that's essentially it. You know, you can actually get away with just mixing like this. Of course, what I'd recommend you doing as you're making your journey, as you're increasing, start off mixing your stock plugins, then get into the realm of mixing with actual, you know, with actual premium plugins. And actually, once you kind of get to that stage, you can make that investment of purchasing premium plugins and whatnot. But this video is, in a nutshell, is that just mix your stock plugins. More time, if you're going to be mixing your stock plugins, make sure that the recording is great, because you can kind of see that here the vocal recording itself was actually very, very good. So now that if I've mixed the stock plugins, it will sound alright. And it's not by doing too much with the stock plugins, like over compressing, over equalizing, and all these other things. Like you see that a lot of things I did here was just many touch-ups and just wasn't even a lot of, it wasn't heavy duty, if that makes sense. So if you listen to the track, you can see that that's that there. You can also
Egypt, any funny move better fix your reflex. Voice in sweet con sweet and Egypt out of the barrel and hit your G's them.
you can also go about what am I trying to say, adding vocal effects, beat manipulation, and whatnot. If you guys want to see that as well, you can check out my video I did on beat manipulation effects and whatnot, so you guys can go check that out. But essentially, this is how you achieve like a simple mix. And if you wanted to save it, you go file, save as, or export, and you can export it as an MP3 or WAV file there. But that's how you mix it there. If you guys want access to some vocals from the vocal multitrack library, you can go check it out. You can become a member and just get as many vocals as you want and practice. I think that's the best way to actually go about practicing mixing and mastering and getting better at mixing and mastering. Get vocals, practice with them constantly, make sure that you're repeating mixes, and just, yeah. So even if you do something like you record a track or then you mix a track, mix that track again a couple months later or a few weeks later and listen to both tracks. That's a tip that I will give to you. I think it will help you. So yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.